People lean on different religions and mindsets to navigate tough times, and today we'll talk to 3 people who do just that. So why don't you hop in and travel with me? My name is JB Salceda, and this is Texas Country Reporter.
I grew up in our family, we have a lot of natural medicine. That's really where it was. We get sick, we always go to my grandmother. She's always fixing something up, a tea or something. There was always candles burning, always lamps lit, something like that. They call her Madrina, which means godmother, because people would come to her to pray for all sorts of things. But that was her big thing, is the prayer. She had a small shop herself, and she used to see a lot of people. My first shelves that were in my shop were the shelves that were in my grandmother's shop.
Every day, Absolem Yetzirah opens up shop at the corner of Polk Street and Cullen Boulevard in Houston. He embraces a long-standing family tradition. The smoky warmth of incense drifting through the air and the foul-filled cages out front are a reflection of his family's legacy as spiritist.
I used to tell people, I say, my grandmother used to read a lot of Psalms for people. And she picked that up from her father. He did a lot of candle burning services for people, for whatever the case may be. And he was a spiritist. There was a big movement that happened way back in the early 1900s, with people communicating with spirit and stuff like that. I would say then, if you need protection and to open the ways, do maybe a chime candle.
How long has this store been here?
Well, I started this business as Midtown Mojo Manufacturers in 2011. I started producing my first oil, which was Crown of Success and Fiery Wall of Protection. But as time went on and the years passed, I got a little bit more responsibility, or the Spirit asked me to do a little bit more things. And so that's how I come to grow into the position that I am now. You know, to own the business, to head associate, and to lead the ceremonies, and to also initiate other people into Voodoo.
Well, you heard that right, Voodoo. Absolem's House of Voodoo serves as the only dedicated voodoo shop in the entire state, where the shelves are stocked with spiritual oils, candles, charms, and everything else you could possibly need to heal what ails you.
I take Apple Pay, roosters, dinner. A rooster ain't cheap though, you know.
What brings people to you?
Life. Whatever it is in their life, that's what they come for. I started off as a social worker dealing with homeless veterans. I'll tell you that the similarities between what I did then and what I do now are the exact same thing. People over there used to come to me with all sorts of problems. They were drug addicts, they were getting out of jail, they were homeless. My role as a social worker was to sit and listen to their problem and help guide them out of that situation and move them on to something better. It's the same thing here. They do a lot of cleansings back here. They'll light fires here. So this is also where we do all of our full moon stuff. All of our outdoor rituals and stuff like that concerning fire, we do them here. Mostly every day I'm either always making something, or I'm talking to someone on the phone, I'm doing a reading, or I'm doing something. I've been reading since I was in the 6th grade.
Really? Absolem's become particularly known for his in-depth and often accurate readings. So of course, I had to sit down and see just what the cards had in store for this new TCR host.
You will do well in this time that you have with them. However, you will face a couple of challenges. It will be sometimes too that you feel defeated, but you cannot let your spirit become weak. You cannot let your mind become weak. You have a good head on your shoulders, you're very solution oriented, but sometimes you can meet things with impatience. And so you really need to move into patience with it.
Call it voodoo, intuition, or something else, but Absolem's reading was spot on for me. Many others have found solace in his guidance, readings, and his spell work.
Do people come in hopes that you'll, cast a spell, do some sort of ritual that is going to bring a boyfriend or a girlfriend back? Is that?
Oh yeah, all the time, and it happens. And I'll tell people, okay, well, we can do this spell, and this is what I need you to bring me, and this is what we're going to do, and you'll see the person going to come back. And sure enough, they do, but I always tell them, once you do that magic, you got to continue to do that magic.
What comfort, what joy, what calm does this bring you?
I guess I could say that the joy that I see that comes out of it is all sorts of stuff. Like, I have one client, she's very young, she's very ambitious, she got caught up with legal stuff, she is going to jail. Well, we do the spell work for her and we do all these things. She didn't go to jail, case got dismissed, charges dropped, all these kind of things. Give her a second chance, right? And so I like to see those kind of things. So then I see them, if they're taking that second chance to do good and do right, that's good for me. I like seeing things like that.
There's a place with rooms filled with blessed candles dipped in herbal mixtures and various ofrendas adorned with offerings to the spirits. A modest 2-story home that's become a haven for those in need. And it's built on the foundation of one family's unique gift, the desire to help others heal.
Everybody is human. Everybody deserves healing. I don't care who they pray to or who they voted for. You're here for a reason, and it don't have anything to do with that. So let's work on the reason, or maybe you need to receive a wisdom today. And that's voodoo.
I just love opening the doors and hitting the switch and turning the lights on, when it's dark in the morning and it's got that neon hum. But I really like being at my welding table with all my stuff.
You don't have to tell Jay Gordon. It's a little ironic that Blackout Signs is in an unmarked barn in the country. Though he designs and builds colorful, attention-grabbing neon signs folks rely on to attract customers to their businesses, his workshop is tucked out of the way in the country outside San Marcos. Like all his work, this is by design.
Again, the yin and yang of our whole trip, it allows us to kind of focus and check out of so much of what we do is calling attention to things, and obviously we love getting a good job or a pat on the back or getting attention for ourselves for the work we've done, but to be able to work and be productive and not be interrupted by a storefront or something like that, I think allows us to kind of focus more and just hide out here in the country.
Maybe the barn is hidden out in the country, but the work Jay and his small team does has still found an appreciative audience.
I think we've paid our dues along the way, and someone will see something we do and ask who did it, or friends of a business we've worked for. I kind of joke around and call this place Enoughsville. We get just enough, we're never parabolic up or parabolic down, it just kind of bounces.
Is Enoughsville just a personal mantra for you? Is that something that you're just motivated to live that way?
Kinda, because I feel like I've won, you know what I mean? I've been very fortunate to get to come do this every day, lived in my same house for 25 years and raised my kids.
Looking around Jay's shop, full of metal scraps, paint cans, and the odd materials that come together to make a sign, his Enoughsville mantra made a lot of sense to me.
What do you like about signs?
Man, you get real deep on why. I mean, to me, it combines the the favorite things I love doing is like art, design, building. You know, there's an art guy that lives in me and a welder guy.
Yeah.
So they get to kind of come together and balance out. You're able to affect your environment in a way that not a lot of other people get to, you know.
Jay and his team have made signs for a lot of big customers like Red Bull, Austin City Limits Fest, and Lollapalooza. But part of what Jay loves about his business is helping other folks who might not be a big chain or corporation, but who are still passionate about the work that they do.
I think my ideal one is like a smaller mom and pop type business, you know, and this is like maybe their first deal, or, you know, or a bar or something like that. And people have saved up and like thought about this and their heart's into it. And so we get to collaborate and kind of, you know, we'll sit down and drink beers and just pull weird arcane thoughts and memories that they've had, and try to weave that all together and take these weird deals and design and build something that's personal to them and appeals to the public.
You know, in the last 10 to 15 years, you've seen the absolute encroachment of LEDs in sign making.
Sure.
Neon's not easy. Why do you still do that?
No, it's just special, you know. It's endured for 100 years because it's special. There's always going to be a next better, greater, or whatever, you know. A neon sign, you've got to work with talented neon glass blowers, you know, or benders who have done it for a long time. You have to balance the load of the sign. You're dealing with a lot more voltage, and all of this lives inside of a box that you designed and built with your own hands. And so it's just, to me, it's not comparable. You know, both are sources of light. This one's like a quick drive down an alley with LEDs, and this one you drove around the whole town seeing all the cool sights.
Despite Jay's humble opinion of his operation, Enoughtsville seems to have brought him, well, enough, in a small, barely hanging on barn next to a cornfield.
All your tools, everything is here to make anything, you know, and all the scraps of metal left over from jobs, like that could be made into something. Like you can make and do anything here.
You don't have to leave your small town. You don't have to leave where you grew up to make your dream happen. So that's number one, is, you know, being able to just let people realize that you can do whatever you want as long as you work hard.
It seems the whole world has learned how delicious and filling Texas barbecue is. What Aaron Rejino and his wife Christina have realized in the little panhandle town of Olton, Texas, is that barbecue can be both delicious and fulfilling for them and their community.
You know, I think one important thing about, well, every town deserves to have a place that the people that live there can be proud of.
I think that's how it's been with us, and especially with Aaron bringing things here into Olton. It's like, why can't Olton have that? Why can't Olton, you know, have the same things that these other cities don't?
I mean, you said this morning that before the doors open, you will have already fed something like 250 people with orders from around. I mean, it's 10% of the population of the city before the doors open.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think people can just tell that we really love what we do. We try to provide really great value price-wise for what we do, but we try to make the best food possible. You know, we don't let the population of our town really dictate the quality of what we do. Yeah, it's Olton, and we don't have to make the best barbecue ever. And if we were to, you know, be able to cut corners here and there, I don't know that a lot of people here would realize, but we don't want to. And I think most people around here can sense that. And so every day that we're open, we try to do the very best that we can.
And the Rejino's Best sits firmly among the upper echelons of Texas barbecue rankings. Their succulent smoked creations have earned some of the most sought-after endorsements around, including a coveted spot on Texas Monthly's top 50 list. Less than 10 years ago, Aaron didn't really know the first thing about barbecue.
So we took a trip to Houston, and we went to a place called Killen's, and we grew up eating barbecue all of our lives. And so I thought that I kind of knew like a thing or two about barbecue. And so we went there, and my mind was like completely blown. And I was like, everything that I do know about barbecue is trash compared to what I just ate. And so we left there, and I had the mentality of like, I have to learn how to cook brisket like this. And so I bought a little Weber kettle, just not even like a smoker, just a Weber kettle, and just started playing around on that. And then eventually just progressed into the size of smoker. And every time I would tell her like, hey, I think I need a bigger one to make it taste like theirs. And so it just kind of progressed that way.
Eventually, Aaron thought he might try to sell some of the barbecue to the community from right out in front of their home.
I thought he was pretty crazy when he wanted to do that. Like, who's going to come in front of our house and buy, brisket sandwich or anything? And, getting started, we ate some bad brisket. There was one time he tried smoking on an old smoker that he had found that was kind of rusted out and probably had bad holes in it, and he tried to do it. And I told him, I said, it tastes like you're just on the pipe of the smoker, like it's so smoky. So, but I think eventually we got her.
Yeah, we definitely. It took me a long time to finally just start to get good brisket. So we had to eat a lot of bad brisket before it started getting good.
Aaron was hooked though, and he called his shot, predicting that all their hard work would lead to some slow-cooked culinary success.
When the Texas Monthly Top 50 list came out in 2017, I made a Facebook post and I said, our barbecue will be on this list.
No kidding.
Yeah. And so to be able to do that, not only ever, but to do it the very next list, it was a crazy sense of accomplishment. We did it together, and it just meant a whole lot, that we were able to do it. But to do it, here old, we didn't have to go anywhere to do it. We were good enough to be found right here. Even today, to think about it, it's just amazing to say that we're on that list.
With barbecue as good as Rejino puts out, I've got no doubt they could have a long line most days at any city in the state.
JB Samsera, your order is ready. JB Samsera.
There might be an easier place to do business than Little Olton, a town of less than 2,000. But that's not how Aaron and Christina wanted to do it. They wanted to stay and play an active role in their small town community.
Sometimes it's tough to make it work, and the size is 2,000 population, so it's a lot smaller, but I think that's one thing that we've always tried to do is bring those things here into a smaller town.
The people around us just really realize that we truly care about what we give them and the product we serve, and just the overall experience, even if they're just picking it up here and taking it back to the office or their house or whatever. We really feel like they can tell that we care.
It's a total family operation. I met your dad in the back, right? Who all works here? Is it friends, family?
We do have a little bit of family, but we do have so many people on our team that have just grown up here that aren't family. I tell them that we are family, especially when we get in those little arguments here and there, but we definitely, that's been a great thing about opening here is that unless, before you either farm, you work at the school, or you travel outside of Olton to work. And so it's been really awesome to be able to employ a few people here in Olton and just let them know that, hey, there's something else to do here other than farming, teaching, or having to drive out of town. So,
in addition to the 40-plus jobs they created, after sharing that I'd visited Rejino on social media, I heard from multiple residents who shared that they're the first ones to give, and folks need a hand. Food for weddings, graduations, and funerals. All donated with no questions asked. So when Christina got some hard news of her own, the Olton community was right there to help the Rejinos out in their trying time.
Lately, it's been a little different. I've gotten diagnosed with neuroendocrine carcinoma, so I have not been here very much since March, and I think definitely we can tell that I miss being here, and I think he misses me being here. I don't know, but so that's been a little hard. The community has definitely been there to support, monetary donations, cooking meals for us.
Before this happened, we never had a day off. We were here all day, every day. And so us being able to step away and take care of this and not always constantly have to be here, the team has really stepped up and really made sure that everything still goes as it's supposed to go.
I think that's one thing about Aaron is just, he's a dreamer, and he wants to make it happen. He's gonna do everything he can and work hard to make it happen. And I think I've been one right there, just kind of his cheerleader, just trying to support him. Like, okay, let's do this. Like, if you want to do it, okay, let's get to work then.
Honestly felt right at home visiting with the folks at Rejino Barbeque. They were so welcoming, and so was the entire community of Olton, Texas. And Christina, you are in my prayers, and I hope all of the prayers of the folks at home as you navigate this battle with cancer. I look forward to next week, when I hope all of you at home will hop in and travel with me as we continue on this journey down the back roads of Texas. My name is JB Salceda, and this is Texas Country Reporter.